Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 15th May 2024. So here I am taking daily edition of Hindu and we are going to pick out the articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. And after taking the articles, we are going to see in different dimensions. So this multi-dimensional approach will helpful to improve your thought process. And next one is you can write a very good multi-dimensional answer and even a very good essay if you are reading current affairs in this approach. So this is the best approach to read current affairs. And even if you are a beginner, if you are not knowing anything, so if you are not knowing anything also, if you see this analysis, then at least I think you will be getting 50 to 60% of content what this newspaper wants to say. Clear? So if you are watching this analysis, please do watch daily. And now let us see the front page. So here in this front page, so this last article is important. And if you have watched yesterday's analysis, so this article is continuation of yesterday's article. So yesterday what we discussed in the last topic of yesterday's analysis that India and Iran, they came up with a 10-year pact for development of this Chabahar port. So in yesterday's class, what I discussed about what is this Chabahar port and what is the significance of this Chabahar port. So why India wants to develop this Chabahar port. So all those things we discussed in yesterday's class. But again, why this article is in news today? Because of this India-Iran development of this Chabahar port, so US can impose sanctions on India. Yes, okay, because of this, now it is again a fair condition for India whether to go with this project or not. So let us see the dimension. So before seeing this dimension, I want to make a small announcement. From today onwards, we are conducting free prelims grand test and it is all India open prelims grand test. And in this grand test, we are providing 5 GS full length along with 2 CSAT. And I will be also giving you the timetable in the description. So where can you write this exam? So you have to download Rathods IAS app. So this is the new app. So link is given in description box, or else you can scan this so that you can directly download the app from Google Play Store. And after opening this, so this will be our overlook of app. There you can see like different courses that we are offering. And if you click on this menu bar, you will be getting lot of options. And there is lot of free content we are providing there. So we are providing daily current affairs. Okay, not only whatever the Hindu analysis I am taking here, we are also going to refer other newspapers and we are going to give you content of daily news or like current affairs here. And apart from this, we are also going to conduct a daily current affairs quiz. Okay, that will be also provided in this app. And even from today onwards, we are going to post this news analysis notes even in this app. So if you want that, please download the app and the link is given in the description box, or else you can scan this QR code. Okay, so these tests are very important because we are giving 500 questions from these 5 GS full length test and these are on most expected topics. So you can get at least 40 to 60 questions from this test series itself. Okay, if you do this, yes, you can clear your examination, that I can say. So if you are getting at least 50% of marks in this test series, yes, you are going to clear this prelims. So blindly you can believe this because the standard of questions are as per UPSC and we are giving questions on most expected topics and explanation of each and every answer is very long so that you can revise the things. Okay, try to take this test for sure. It is free of cost. And next one is we are going to start our UPSC GS foundation for 2025 batch from 27th May 2024 onwards, and here we are providing both online and offline. So if you can't come to Hyderabad to take offline classes, you can take on online. So there will be no difference between offline and online, but you will be not coming to classroom, that's it. So what are the classes which are going on on offline, you will be getting live access in app itself on online. And what are the mentorship which is provided by toppers like Revaya sir, Shivang sir, Abhishek sir, Lavanya ma'am. So you will be getting the same thing in app itself. And same faculty, same material. And what are the tests we are going to conduct on offline? Again, the test will be conducted on online mode also. Okay, and even what are the main questions you are giving, the same questions will be given there. And after writing your answers, you will be having a space to upload your answers, and we will be correcting online there in app itself. So yes, you can take online also, there will be no problem. But one thing is, you have to take admission before 27th May 2024. Try to take admission as soon as possible. And if you want to contact us directly, you can call on this number 8074765513. Okay. And one more thing is, today Shivang sir is going to take class which is we are going to conduct, or we are coming up with live streaming. Okay, live streaming at 6 p.m. So if you want to clear prelims, and Shivang sir is well known for clearing prelims, and he have lots and lots of strategies and tips to clear prelims, and he is going to share his tips, strategies to clear prelims 2024. And if you want to clear prelims, take this test first today, and if you have any doubts, you can directly ask Shivang sir today. He is going to be on live at 6 p.m. today on YouTube on our channel. Okay, so be prepared with that and fix the time 6 for Shivang sir, and he will be taking 45 minutes to 1 hour of class, and he will be addressing your doubts, and he will be sharing the tips to clear your UPSC prelims. So how many of you want to clear prelims? So if you want to clear, so join that class for sure. Yeah, now let us see the dimensions. So what is that first article? So first article, it is about Chabahar port. Okay, so this year you can expect a question like ports on one side, and next one is countries on another side. So they will be giving a question in this way. Consider the following pairs: Chabahar port, Iraq; Sitwe port, India. Like that, they will be giving you pairs of ports and countries where they are located, and you have to identify which is the correct pair or incorrect pair. So in that way also you have to focus, because lots and lots of ports are seen in news. So you have to know important ports which are in news and which country they belongs to. Clear? So now let us go into the topic, and this topic is important from your international relations, which comes under your GS paper 2. And as I said, this topic is important from both your prelims and as well as mains point of view. Okay, so this port is present in Iran. Correct? So to counter port of Pakistan, that is Gwadar port, India is developing this Chabahar port. So in this Chabahar port, there are two things. So we are focusing on development of Shahid Bahasti port. Okay, this thing we clearly discussed in yesterday's class. And we also discussed what is the significance. We also discussed what is the significance of this Chabahar port. And next here, one thing you have to focus is why US is involving here. So again, one new dimension you have to see is why US is involving in development of this Chabahar port by India. Okay, so now let us see from US point of view. So US is a big Western country, and it is like a power, big power, right? So what happened is, like, US is having issues with some countries like Iran, Russia and North Korea. So Iran and Russia and North Korea, they are like anti-US countries. So to counter these countries, US in 2017 came up with one act that is called as CARTSA. Came up with this one act in 2017. So what is this CARTSA? It is Countering American Adversaries Through Sanction Act. So it is talking about adversary countries, that means opposite countries, adversary countries. So here these adversary countries are Iran, Russia, North Korea. So what does this CARSA says is, if any country which is coming up with projects or development or collaboration with these countries, so US will be imposing sanctions on those countries. This is according to CARSA. Okay. So here India wants to come up with development projects in Iran. Because of this, there is a fear that US can impose sanctions on India. So actually you may get one question. Yes, here one more adversary country of US is Russia here, but India and Russia are all weather friends, and even India is getting weapons or defense equipments, and even we are having collaboration with Russia with development of nuclear power projects, and even recently we got discounted price for oil. You are getting this doubt, right? So what was the case is, in 2018, so India got waiver. Okay, India got waiver from this CARSA regarding India and Russia developmental projects. But now the question is, this waiver cannot be extended for Iran. Okay, so that is a thing which is going on in news. And here you have to see one more important keyword, that is JCPOA or Iran's nuclear deal. JCPOA is nothing but Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, and IND is Iran's nuclear deal of 2015. So even this is also related to US and Iran. Okay. So all these are the different things that you have to see, and I hope you understand what is the background. Right, now let us see this topic in detail. So why it is in news? First, let us see the context. So a new 10-year agreement between India and Iran. So this agreement, it is to develop Chabahar port. So whenever we are going for development of this Chabahar port, there is a potential risk from sanctions of US. So this is a thing which said by US State Department. So because of this statement which is given by US State Department, now there is a casting, that means creating of clouds whether we are going to get exemption or not. Waiver, exemption is nothing but waiver. So waiver or exemption from this or not. Again, it is one doubt. Okay. So casting a cloud over whether the special exemption India had received from US in 2018, that will be still applicable for the next phase of development or investments in this Iran project or not. So we got waiver in 2018. Whether this waiver can be extended now for the investments we are doing in this Iran's project or not. So again, this is one dilemma or question mark. And next one is India's plan to invest approximately how much amount? It is a very big amount, $120 million in equipment for the port, and even $250 million they are likely to be under scanner if US decides against extending its sanctions carve out for India. So if India is attracting sanctions, means it will be lost about $250 million. So that is the thing which mainly said here. And now let us see what is this CARSA. CARSA is nothing but Countering American Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. So if you are preparing for any banking exam or railways or any other state public service examination, there may be questions can be asked from abbreviations. So here you have to know abbreviations. That is Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanction Act. And next one is you have to know JCPOA, that is Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. So these two, CARSA and JCPOA, they are the significant factors which are influencing India-Iran relations. So what is this CARSA? So CARSA came up by US to impose sanctions on the countries which are having significant dealings or investments or transactions with countries like Iran, Russia and North Korea. So as you all know that India is one of the strategic partner of US. It is also facing challenges in its relationship with Iran because of extraterritorial nature of these sanctions. So here already you know that India and US are good friends, and India and Russia are also good friends. And if you see Iran, from Iran, India is getting its oil. But because of fear of the sanctions of US, Iran's imports of crude oil, we made it to zero. We decreased our, or we almost made nil, zero imports of crude oil from this Iran because of the fear of sanctions of America on India. So India has to carefully navigate its economic and energy ties with Iran. So because of this, whenever we want to make any relationship with the countries, so we need to be very careful. So this is the thing which mainly said here. And because it may impact defense, it may impact energy cooperation between India and US. So what is this JCPOA? So from this area also you can get prelims or mains question. So we are not going to take any chance because UPSC is highly unpredictable examination. So you have to prepare in all dimensions. Okay. So here JCPOA, that is Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, it is also known as Iran's nuclear deal, and it was a landmark agreement. And this agreement, which aimed at limiting Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief, the US withdrawal from JCPOA in 2018 and the reimposition of sanctions created challenges for Iran's economy and even affected India's energy imports from Iran. So because of this JCPOA, so what happened, that is Iran's nuclear deal between US and as well as other countries. Okay, and even it was like other countries, they are part of this JCPOA, but US, which had been withdrawn, the US came up out of this JCPOA in 2018. And later on, what happened again? US started imposing sanctions on this Iran. So because of this, it is having impact on the economy of Iran, because other countries, they are importing oil from Iran, so they will be also attracted sanctions under this CAATSA, right? And next one is India, while expressing its commitment to JCPOA, has had to find a delicate balance between adhering to the deal and complying with evolving international dynamics and US sanction policies. So both CAATSA and JCPOA add layers of complexity to India's relation with Iran and also given in Iran's strategic ties with the US. Okay, so there are some challenges like maintaining of balance between economic interest, regional stability, and how we have to other means nothing but following of international agreements. Okay, so all these things are the cause of concerns. And now let us move on to next page. So in this city page, so there is one article. It is about sanitation worker dies cleaning sewer in Rohini. So we are focusing on sanitation. Yes, sanitation. So now let us move on to this topic, and it is very important and we can get many dimensions here. So this topic is talking about sanitation. So if you have gone through your SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, we have 17. So one is talking about sanitation, clean water and sanitation, right? So here we have to focus on sanitation, is very important. Do you know that? So if you have idea of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals and we have to achieve them by 2030. So here clean water and sanitation is very important. And next one is, so who will ensure the sanitation? Municipalities are there, and we are depending on manual scavengers. But we know this manual scavenger is illegal. Not illegal, but here we have one act which is protecting this manual scavengers. But even though we are not using much technology, okay, so because of this killings of people like manual scavengers, death is happening. So here my advice is collect the recent data regarding manual scavenging and what are the reasons for this manual scavenging and what are the measures you can take. And this topic is also important from GS paper 4 under ethics. So in ethics you have theory part and case studies, right? So in part B you have case studies. So you can get a case study here. For example, here you are a municipal commissioner of that so and so area, and in your area there are, in the recent past, there are 5 to 6 deaths of manual scavenging happened, and as a head, what are the steps that you are going to take? And they will give you like 2 to 3 scenarios, and they will ask you what are the plan of action or what are the choices you have, and analyze your choices, what are merits and demerits. So like that you can get question in this area, so you have to focus on that. And even there is a chance of getting essay if you are preparing for other defense examinations, and even there is a chance of getting your mains answer from this area. Okay, so you have to prepare from all these dimensions. And if you move on to states page, so in states page I found one important article. I will show you that. So this is at most important. There is a chance of getting question regarding this topic for sure. Title says NISAR satellite. NISAR satellite can monitor tectonic movements accurately. So what are these tectonic movements? So what are the keywords here? So first one is satellite name, and next one is tectonic movements. So I'll let you know the dimensions. So first one is tectonic movements. First one is tectonic movements, and next one is NISAR satellite. Okay, so if you have seen the theories, so we have mainly 3 theories in your geography, like continental drift theory, sea floor spreading theory, and plate tectonics theory, right? So plates are nothing but lithosphere. So what is this lithosphere? Any idea? So it is a combination of earth crust plus upper mantle region, right? Upper mantle and earth crust, which is combination, we are calling it as lithosphere, and this lithosphere is called as plates. And in these plates we have 2 types again. We have major plates and we have minor plates. We have major plates and we have minor plates. So here in NCRT there is a table which gives you examples of which are major and which are minor. So one minor plate is like Cocos plate, Nazca plate, and major plates are like American plate, Indo-Australian plate. Okay. So here what happens, these plates, they are not constant, they will be moving over liquid magma. Okay, so in this plate movements, we have 3 types of plate movements. First one is convergent plate movements, and next one is divergent plate movements, and third one is transform plate movements. So convergent means, so we have 2 plates, plate 1 and plate 2. They will be moving towards each other. That is called as convergent plate movements. Divergent means we have again plate 1 and plate 2. They are moving away from each other. This type is called as divergent. They are diverging away. And this one is transform, means they will be sliding over one another like this. So what happens here is, so this NISAR, it is a satellite of both ISRO and NASA. So in this way you have to remember NI. NI means NASA and as well as ISRO's joint project, that is NISAR satellite. And this satellite which is going to identify even very minor plate movements also, this satellite have the capability to identify. Okay, so here whenever any project of NASA or ISRO or European Space Agencies and developments of ISRO, they are very important for UPSC. So in science and technology, you will be having a topic called as space technology. So in that space technology, you will be studying about the satellites, India's projects or other countries' projects. So what are the advantages of satellites? So different satellites, different types of satellites and different types of orbits. So where you are placing which type of satellite. So what are the advantages, what are the significance. So why we need this satellites, what is the space tourism, why we are encouraging private sector into space. So all things you will be studying in that chapter. So from that chapter point of view, this article is very important. So whenever you are saying any satellite in news, so you have to know some basics. Those things you have to know for 100%. So first one is, it is project of which country's space agency. First thing. And you have to see where we are placing, in which orbit. And you have to see special features, why it is special. And what are the objectives of this project. And what is the significance. So all these are very important. In this area you have to focus, and in this way you have to prepare notes for your space technology. Yeah, now let us see this topic in detail. So here NISAR satellite, the important aim here, it is to monitor natural process and change that we are seeing on Earth's ecosystem. Okay, and it is going to be launched in March 2024. Okay, so March 2024 it is said to be launched, but it had not been. And actually the partnership, so it is the partnership agreement between NASA and as well as ISRO. It is very important. In 2014 itself we came up with this. Okay, and if you see details, so NISAR, the important objective of this NISAR, it is to track changes on its surface, because even if there are minute plate movements, it can detect. And next one is, it is also giving some warning signs if there is any volcanic eruptions going to be happen. And it will be also helping to monitor groundwater supplies, and even it is focusing on ice sheets, melting of glaciers, seawater rise, etc. And what are the functions of this NISAR? It is very important. It will capture images of Earth land, Earth's ice sheet and sea ice every 12 days. So for every 12 days it will be capturing images, and it will be able to detect Earth's surface movements, even very small as 0.4 inches. So if there is any 0.4 inches over area movement also it can detect. And what is the significance? The first one is Earth observation. So here this satellite will offer detailed observation of Earth's surface, and it can also focus on tracking changes in ice sheets, land deformation and ecosystem. And this data, it will improve our understanding of Earth's processes, and even it will be helpful to tackle environmental challenges also. And next important significance is disaster management. So this NISAR mission, which offers vital data for managing natural disasters. So which are those natural disasters? We have earthquakes, we have floods, and as well as volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, etc. And it will be giving response, enhanced response, and even risk assessments can be done. And next one is agriculture. So NISAR data, it will enhance agriculture management, and it will be focusing on food security. It offers insights into crop growth, soil moisture, and even land use changes. So here it is also very helpful for monitoring of climate change also. It will be helpful in monitoring and understanding climate change impacts on land surface. So how climate change is having impact on its land surface, that will be also monitored. For example, melting of glaciers, sea level rise, and carbon storage changes, etc. So these are the wide range of significance of this NISAR. So you can get like 10 mark question here also in your mains. And now let us see next topic. It is about candidate notes on NHRC status deferral. So here we have to focus on one keyword, that is NHRC. So NHRC stands for National Human Rights Commission. So in your Lakshmikant, if you have gone through this topics of constitutional bodies and non-constitutional bodies, so in non-constitutional bodies we have this NHRC, HRC, right? So if you are seeing any topic directly from your syllabus, that is at most important. So here it is saying that deferral. So this status of NHRC has deferral. Deferral means denying to change. So they are not changing the status of NHRC of India. So earlier it was like status A and it had been decreased to status B, and this year also here there is reluctant which is seen here. So here that is the why here NHRC is in use, and you can get a question from this NHRC. And you may get a question like, so what happens if the status of NHRC had been decreased? So do you know about international organizations, United Nations bodies, etc.? So in those bodies, if India is member, so India's voting right will be affected if you are having very less status. So this is one cause of concern. Okay, now let us see this article in detail. So why it is in news? Because Geneva-based United Nations linked Global Alliance of National Human Rights Institution, in short GANHRI, deferred means it is showing reluctance regarding accreditation, that is status of National Human Rights Commission for second year. So for second year in row, that means constantly for second year also, it is not taking any step to increase the status of National Human Rights Commission of India. So this is the first time India's status has been suspended for 2 years, for 2023 and 2024, and the decision was taken during the meeting of Subcommittee of Accreditation on May 1st, 2024. So they said that we are not going to take any action this year. Okay, so here this decision which will be having impact on India's ability to vote at Human Rights Council and even some United Nations General Assembly bodies. So what is this National Human Rights Commission? It is a statutory body, it is not a constitutional body. So because of this, it comes under example of non-constitutional body. So under which act? So this National Human Rights Commission had been established under Protection of Human Rights Act of 1993. And this commission which is acting as a watchdog of human rights in our country. So who are members? So this commission, it is a multi-member body. So we are not having single or 2 members. It is like a multi-member body. So it is consisting of chairman, and along with chairperson we have 5 members. So the chairperson should be a retired Chief Justice of India, or he can be Judge of Supreme Court. So members should be serving or retired Judge of Supreme Court, or serving or retired Chief Justice of High Courts, and 3 persons, at least one should be a woman here. So who is having knowledge or practical experience with respect to human rights. And what is this GANHRI? You have to know this. So GANHRI stands for Global Alliance for National Human Rights Institution. So this GANHRI, it is an organization which is affiliated to United Nations Commissioner for Human Rights, and it is a global network. It is a global network of National Human Rights Institutions, and this National Human Rights Institution which works to promote and to protect human rights. It is focusing on promoting and as well as protecting of human rights. And GANHRI represents 120 national human rights institutions around the world. And the important mission of this GANHRI, it is to unite, it is to promote and to strengthen NHRIs, that is National Human Rights, to operate with according to United Nations Paris Principle. So for this we have this organization. And what are the observations you have made? So why there is downgrading of India's NHRI status here is because there is lack of transparency. So in that opinion, there is lack of transparency in appointing members of National Human Rights Commission is the first thing. And next one is the appointment of police officers to oversee this human rights investigations. Also there is lack of transparency, and there is even lack of gender and minority representation on the member panel. So because of this, yes, India's rating had been downgraded. Clear? And now let us move on to our Hindu page. So in our editorial page, So I found this article is important, that is NHRC. I discussed this topic. And here in this opinion page, there is one article regarding challenge of extrapulmonary TB. So number of times we discussed about this topic TB, that is tuberculosis, right? So tuberculosis, it is a communicable disease. So in your science and technology subject, in this topic of diseases, you will be seeing two types of diseases. One is communicable and second one is non-communicable. Communicable and non-communicable. So communicable means whenever you are communicating with others, like talking, hugging, like that, the transmission of disease will happen. For example, coronavirus, yes, TB. And if you see here, non-communicable disease means even if you are communicating with others, there is no transmission of disease. For example, kidney disease, hypertension, diabetes mellitus, lung disease, so and so. So here you have to know diseases, examples, and causative organisms. So in these causative organisms, many a times you will be getting confused whether it is caused by bacteria, virus, or protozoa, or algae, fungi, like that. You have to be very careful, and UPSC will play a game with this organism. And signs and symptoms, and you have to see treatment and whether there is a vaccine or not, whether there is availability of vaccine or not, that is also very important. And in this TB especially, you have to focus on many things, and this TB is very important from your mains. So in this TB, it is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It is a bacteria. You have to see signs and symptoms and treatment. So in this treatment, we will be taking antibiotics. And here in this antibiotics, we have two types. First line drugs and second line drugs. First line and second line drugs. So here the treatment is you have to take minimum 6 months of drugs for sure daily. So because of this long treatment, so it is causing antibiotic resistance. So what is this word? Antibiotic resistance. So because of this antibiotic resistance, so most of the times bacteria will be not responding to antibiotics. So this is called as multi-drug resistance TB. Okay, and this is one important problem. And government came up with many schemes to give assistance to these people with TB, and even government have the target of elimination of TB in India. But this had not been achieved, and the target year had been extended because of COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so these all things are very important. And one more important area which is said in this article is, normally everyone will be believing this TB is respiratory or lung infection, right? But not only lungs, even other body parts. Even other body parts will be also get affected. Even, I don't know whether you believe or not, even eye can be affected by this TB. Okay, TB is affecting eyes. So this is called as extrapulmonary. So pulmonary means regarding lungs. So extra means other than lungs. If there is any part which is affected by this TB infection, that is called as extrapulmonary TB. So extrapulmonary TB is challenging now. Okay, so this is a thing which mainly said in this article. Clear? And if you move on to this text and context, so this page is entirely ad. If we are not focusing on this murder case verdict at all. Yeah, here there is one article, it is about regulatory sandbox. So you can get a question like, recently regulatory sandbox is in use. what it refers to. In this way also you can get question. So you have to be prepared. So now let us see this topic in detail. So what is this regulatory sandbox? So this regulatory sandbox, it is a framework. So this framework set up by a regulator. So remember like that. So regulatory will be set up by a regulator that allows fintech startups and other innovators to conduct live experiments. To conduct live experiments in a conducive or favorable environment, that is called as regulatory sandbox. So RBI came up with a framework for regulatory sandbox, outlines a learning by doing approach. And even there are certain safeguards which allows the startups or fintech companies or tech companies or banks to innovate their products by using this regulatory sandbox. Okay, so here what are the benefits? The first one is we can test product viability, and if there is any modification, we can do modifications before broader launch. So in that way we can reduce the risk. And this one is it also accelerate financial inclusion through innovations in microfinance, small saving schemes and digital banking. And what are the limitations? So there is a possible loss of flexibility and as well as time of innovators in the sandbox processes. And case by case authorizations and relaxations can involve discretional judgment sometime. And I want to give you one prelims question. So please answer this question. Consider the following statements. Regulatory sandbox refers to the live testing of new products or services in a controlled or test regulatory environment. And credit registry, cryptocurrency, credit information are excluded from RBI's framework for regulatory sandbox. So which of the following statements are correct? So please let me know answer for this question in the comment box. Okay, now let us go back to our Hindu page. So let us see this news page. So in this page also there is nothing much important. Yes, you can see pine and needle power projects to check forest fires prove inadequate. So as you all know that forest fires are going on, for example, in Uttarakhand. Yes or no? So bioenergy projects had been set up by Uttarakhand Energy Renewable Department Agency, and they are using vast quantities of flammable pine needles for generating electricity. It had been unsuccessful. So actually you can say, like, whenever you are writing an answer for how to address this forest fires, you can use this case study, pine needle power project. So for that point of view, it is very important. Okay, so that's it. And leave the selection page, it is not at all useful. And if you go on to this business page, again there is an article regarding wholesale price inflation, and number of times we discuss this topic regarding inflation. So you have to see this. Just if you want, I will be giving you ideas. So what is inflation? Even in yesterday's class also we discussed, right? Inflation. There is increasing of price of what? Goods and service in market. It is called as inflation. You have to see what are the causes of inflation. You have to see types. So we have three types: cost push, demand pull, built-in. And next one is, you have to see what are the types of inflation. We have retail price and we have wholesale price. You have to see measures. So how we are measuring? For measuring we have retail price index or consumer price index. Next one is wholesale price index. We have to see which is the organization taking care of that. And in measures, you have to see what are the measures taken by government under fiscal policy, like increasing of spending and tax changes. And next one is RBI in monetary policy. What are the steps can be taken? And what is significance of inflation? So all those things that you have to see. Okay, so these are the very important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So before concluding, I am requesting you to take this prelims test. So it is free of cost. So please download our app and fill the necessary details and take that All India test, and you have to check whether you are ready to take this examination or not. If you are getting at least 60% of marks, then I can say you are going to clear this prelims for sure. Okay, so download the app and take the test. And if you want to take foundation also, you can take online also, and the cost of online is 60,000 rupees. And what are the facilities you are providing on offline? You will be having same on online also. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this class, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy, and please do like and share this video to your friends. And thank you so much for watching.